Thanks to LastPass for sponsoring a portion of this video.
What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and today we're gonna be taking a look at my favorite tech of the month for the month of September. Now, we're gonna be doing this one a little bit different. Typically, I talk about the tech that I've been enjoying, whether it's old or new, but this is some of the stuff that I've actually really been enjoying and appreciating. And I'll be honest, I've had no real expectations for the tech that I'm gonna talk about today, but they all surprised me, which is a good thing. But before we get started, we do have to talk about today's sponsor, LastPass.
So again, thanks to LastPass for sponsoring this portion of the video.
Now, I think we all know LastPass, but if you're not familiar, it is an absolutely awesome password manager that I've been using for years and years. And it just honestly takes the burden off having to remember every password for every website, since we all know they should all be different and not easily guessable. But it does make navigating all your different accounts on the internet a lot smoother. Because if you find yourself constantly forgetting your password and getting locked out of your accounts, you're gonna wanna look into this. It just takes the guesswork out of things. You no longer need to write your passwords, reset them, all that stuff that we don't like dealing with when it comes to logging in. LastPass will make it a lot easier so we can stay sane. Now, what's great about LastPass is that it doesn't just work on web browsers on your computer, it actually syncs across multiple devices. So if you have iOS or Android, you'll also be able to use your LastPass account there, so you can easily log into apps just like you do certain websites on your typical browser. You also get a bunch of other cool features like unlimited password storage, cross-device sync, and password sharing. I personally highly recommend using it. It's what I use, and if you guys are interested, I'll have it linked down below in the description, so try it out today. So again, huge thanks to LastPass for sponsoring this portion of the video. But guys, it is time to talk about this tech that took me for a surprise, but I actually started falling in love with them. So first thing being this little guy over here, the Microsoft Surface Duo. I know a lot of people, when they're talking about folding devices, they're not really talking about this as much. Everyone's attention is on the Galaxy Z Fold 2, but nah, Judd likes this guy. This is what I like. I think this is where folding phones should go. I'm a huge fan of this form factor. I think having two screens makes sense. Now, the other folding devices, usually you'll see like two portions of a screen fold out and they become one. This one sticks to being two screens. It makes me feel like it's this pseudo device between like a laptop and a smartphone. When it comes to other devices, like let's say the Z Fold 2, I like that phone, but it felt more like a tablet that just had an extra little screen in the front. So let's just say you wanna compose a text message, you wanna start a chat with someone. I'll chat with Ari. I can just say, hey, you know, whatever. I can do things on this side while completely being able to do something different over here. Like I could just pop open Instagram, scroll Instagram. My man, LeBron James. Guy's dope. It completely changes how the apps feel when you're interacting with them. Rather than feeling like you have two squished apps side by side, when it comes to something like this, it feels like you have two full-blown apps right next to each other, and it's just a completely different experience. And check this out. So this game, I already have an update over here, and usually my phone gets held hostage while I'm waiting for this update. This one's like a gig, so it's gonna take forever. And usually I just put my phone down and go do something else. But if I don't want to do that, here, I got a whole nother screen that I have access to that I can go ahead and continue doing pretty much anything that I wanna do. The way you interact with it here is just so different, and I love that. It kind of reminds me of the Asus ZenBook Pro Duo. That laptop I actually really like because it changed the way I interacted with my laptop, because it had two screens. Pretty much the same experience here. You just can do more at once. Not to mention the hardware here is amazing. I've got the bumpers on it, but Microsoft really knocked it out of the park in terms of just how this thing feels. The hinge is dang near perfect. It can stay at whatever position you want it to. It's a solid hinge, and we all know Microsoft knows their hinges. But would I recommend it to somebody to buy? Probably not. Definitely not, actually. Only because Microsoft hasn't really nailed the software side of things just yet. There are lots of cool gestures and things that you can do, but it's just it's laggy software, guys. Open apps and move them around. It's just not as fluid as one would want. Not to mention, you don't have that great of a camera here either. But this is such a thin device that it's kind of hard to get a big sensor in here. The idea here, guys, is amazing. And I honestly, even with the navigation issues and those, slight software bugs that I encounter all the time with this, I still find myself drawn to it. I still pick this thing up and I just want to use it. And I am hoping Microsoft does not give up on this idea. I don't know how many units they're gonna sell, but hopefully they stick with it and we see a Surface Duo. Next. Now this is something that we picked up in a massive tech unboxing. I got it for Ari. I thought, she'd enjoy it, but I've actually been enjoying it a lot more than she has. And that is this, what is it called? Cubii? It's this basically a desk elliptical that you can just throw under your desk. Like, let's say you got a desk setup, you got your gaming setup ready, you ready to go, right? With this, you can be in motion, guys. Check this out. People buy those standing desks all the time just so that they can, at least stand up. Sometimes they even put treadmills under those standing desks. They go the extra mile, but this is something I really like because it's so small. Well, it's not super small, but like you could throw this under any desk and it's not a problem. And it actually does give you quite a workout. You've got this knob here at the bottom with all these different levels of resistance. So you can go from 1 all the way to 8. And you even get your stats right here with this little screen. So you can see how long you've been going, the calories you've burnt, the distance you've gone, how fast you're going, all that kind of stuff. And honestly, it's just really, really nice if you have some kind of desk setup like this, or you're just working, or if you just spend lots of hours at work at a desk, this thing is dope. This is the Cubii, is it like the junior version?
Yeah, we got the junior.
So we got the junior version. There's actually a pro version, which has an app that you can connect to. It'll get all your stats. I think it also syncs with like Fitbit and Apple Health Kit, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to take it to the next level, you can do that. I'm probably gonna get another one so that Ari can have hers and I can just have mine, but they're not cheap though. I think this one goes for about 200 bucks, but if you wanted to get a regular elliptical in your house, it probably costs quite a bit more. So I'm okay with this. This is like a miniature version. You just throw it under your desk. Like if I have my Xbox controller right now, like I'm in the game, I'm in the action right here, Jay. I'm getting chased down, gotta run. This is cool, it's cool. Jay's like, yeah, whatever, Jay. And while we're talking about like this whole fitness tech kind of thing, something that actually caught me really off guard is this guy over here. This is the Theragun. Ari saw this, she's the one who discovered this thing. This thing is super expensive, so I had some kind of expectations here, but I really didn't know until I actually started using it. I actually started going to the gym before COVID happened and we got locked down. I started going to the gym, I was working out quite a bit more, but I would come back home crazy sore. You guys know when you go to the gym and you have a good workout and you're just like, I can't move my arms. You know what that's like. Honestly, this thing has helped quite a bit in relieving the pain that I had and the soreness. What it does is you pretty much press the power button and this thing just kind of beats your muscles down and kind of releases a lot of that tension. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, it really does work. Now, honestly, Theragun isn't the only company that makes something like this. We unboxed another one that was sent to us in a massive tech unboxing. What was it, the Hyper Vault? That one's substantially cheaper. I think it's like 50% of the cost of this guy. That does essentially the same thing. I honestly don't even have my Hypervolt anymore because I gave it to my mom because she always has back pain. She's a little older. So I gave it to my mom. I was like, Dad, listen, you take care of my mom, you use this Hypervolt right on her back. She's been much better ever since she started using it. So if you've been doubtful about whether or not these machines work, they've got my seal of approval. So this thing really surprised me. It's a piece of tech that I thought honestly was gonna be a waste of money. When Ari bought this, I was like, yo, why? It's so expensive. But it was well worth it. I used it far more than she did. It does come with like 2 different batteries. It's a solid product, but there are just so many different options out there, I think now. You just get one that works well, and I think you're pretty much good to go. I'm all for the idea. But yes, this is also a sleeper product that I did not expect to find useful by any means. And something else that's like that is this guy from GameSir. So when I first saw this, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh, I've seen stuff like this before. I've seen companies with this one-handed keyboard kind of thing. I didn't care for it. Then I plugged it in, gave it a shot, and I was pleasantly surprised, not gonna lie. Jay, let's fire up some Apex Legends. Not a sponsor. Now we all know the standard way of gaming on a PC. You know, you got your full-on keyboard, you got your mouse, you're just ready to kill some people, right? But you actually take this thing away, you just got this little guy, and you got your mouse, and your setup has gotten a lot more compact. Now, I'll game on a PC, no problem, don't get me wrong, but I'll typically do it with this guy. Not even gonna lie to you guys. I typically game on a controller. I'm still pretty flexible, you know? I'm not stuck in the ways of like having a giant keyboard and a mouse to game. I definitely don't mind being able to switch it up like this. I got like 1 shot. So for me guys, it's actually nice to not be overwhelmed by all of the other keys that come on the rest of the keyboard when trying to use a mouse and keyboard, because you know, controllers don't have nearly as many buttons. It's pretty simple experience. So I like having a smaller keyboard over here to just get the job done. You also have some cool stuff like a little screen over here, shows you when it's connected, your battery, all that kind of stuff. You also have an extra USB port here on the side, a USB Type-C port over here, and then your power switch. But this is something interesting that it has. It has this little guy. For something like Apex Legends, where there are just so many different things that you can do in this game with abilities, with different kind of items and stuff that you can use. It's actually nice to be able to go into the settings and I can change some of the buttons that I use to work with that. Use selected health item. I want that to be up. Equip a grenade. I want that to be down. So now I can go ahead, pick up some equipment. So now I can just focus on moving with the rest of my fingers, and my thumb can go ahead and pick the item that I'm looking for. It just makes life so much simpler for me. Now, don't sit here and judge my movement and whatnot, because I still ain't no master at using a keyboard and mouse. But with the time that I've been putting in with this little guy, I am actually a lot happier than with this overwhelming guy right here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is overwhelming to me. If you guys have used some of these like one-handed keyboards, let me know which one has given you the best experience. Maybe I should check it out. But I do like what I've gotten out of this thing. So I am interested in learning more about which ones you guys would recommend. Now with this stuff aside, here's one that we've talked about in the past, but I really didn't know what to expect when I first got my hands on it. And that leads me to these guys over here, Laxy Buds Live. So here we are, we got the beans. This is the stuff that a lot of people, they keep making fun of, but I promise you, they're so much better than they look. So this design, they look like, you know, beans, whatever. They're completely unconventional. You don't expect these to be earbuds. They don't have like a silicone tip to go in your ear or anything, but you just put the little bean portion inside your ear and boom, it just stays. I wasn't expecting this whatsoever. When I first put them on, I thought that this portion right here was the part that had to go into your ear. I was like, what is this, Samsung? This is stupid. But when you use it the way they intended, it actually makes a lot of sense and it just works really well. I also wouldn't expect to have much bass. I wouldn't expect the sound to sound any good whatsoever, but I actually feel pretty confident with the sound. I could listen to this on a commute or just like on a regular basis with no problem. It actually sounds pretty decent to me. Now, this does have like active noise canceling, and it's not really the selling point of these, but this form factor to me is everything. The form factor and the sound quality, I'm all for it. Whenever a pair of earbuds can fit comfortably in your ear, it's just dope. Now, I wish these were black or something. They do have black options. I think the black would look really clean. Jay, what do you think?
I prefer the black.
Of course you could prefer the black. Jay likes black. But yeah, as a pair of earbuds, the Galaxy Buds Live are, oh snap. everything sounds so much louder. Is that the active noise canceling? Is it actually working? So, I mean, maybe, you know, the active noise canceling works for a little something. If you picked up one of the new Galaxy devices, I really hope you took advantage of some of Samsung's offers where you can basically get one of these for free. And if you did, let me know what you guys think of them down below in the description. This was a pleasant surprise for me. But that about wraps it up, guys. If you have any tech that like has come across your way, maybe somebody gifted it to you or something that you didn't think you'd really like, but you ended up using a lot more than you anticipated, let me know with a comment down below. Hopefully you enjoyed it, guys. If you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace. Carl, you ever tried these?